boldip.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Bold Inventor Show. I'm your host, JD Houvener, owner-founder, patent attorney at Bold Patents Law Firm. We're live today again. We're here every Wednesday. If you missed us live and you're watching after the fact, you can catch us every Wednesday at 1:30 Pacific time, the Bold Inventor Show. So we're here talking to you, the audience of inventors, entrepreneurs, business owners, those that want to be business owners or interested about intellectual property, patents, trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets. Here to answer questions live. Any audience members, feel free to jump in with your questions, comments. You'll be taken to the top of the funnel in terms of our questions. I've got 4 questions that came in over the week. I'm going to get to those in just a little bit. First and foremost is our legal notice. By attending this live broadcast, whether you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, know that while I'm an attorney, this is not a legal consultation. There's no legal advice here. We're having fun. It's a podcast on audio, and we're doing a live video stream. So I'll be sharing legal information. So if you have any questions related to your certain matter, please hold that to yourself and reach out to us in confidence at boldpatents.com. Set up a free discovery call to get started. We've got a guest waiting backstage. I got to chat with him just a little bit, Mr. Ken Lemons. So I'm excited to have him on from Musical DNA. We'll be interviewing him in about 10 minutes or sooner because my co-host, Matt, as you can tell, is not here yet. So our inventor kit, take a look at this. So we're just putting this up together this past month. This is our inventor kit. We're giving away the book behind me. Whoops, over here. Bold Ideas, The Inventor's Guide to Patents, the whole PDF, as well as our tutorial patent searching. What are your options today in 2025? The cost, the breakdown, and the application drafting as well, and some guides. If you're going to do it on your own, we give you some tips on what to do, but we do hope and pray you do hire counsel. We think that's the best place to move forward. All right, let's get to the questions. And again, if you're out there and you have questions, feel free to fire away. I'll move those to the front of the list. We've got our Reddit group's always got tons of questions. Again, I haven't had a whole lot of time to look through this. Looks like this one's from it's a question up in Canada. So let's get to this one. I'll share it here in a bit. Here we go. Okay, my team and I have developed an app that has huge potential. Love it. Please advise. We have come up with a digital solution we think can greatly help our users and customers. How do we go about patenting the app in Canada? How much should we expect to spend on it? What happens if we want to patent in the US for use as well? And patenting turns out to be too expensive at this early stage. Is there a cheaper way to secure our creation? So a lot of good questions there in that. I'm going to keep that question up just to help kind of remind me. I can't speak to Canadian law, right? I've taken and passed the US patent bar, and so I understand the US patent laws. But from what I understand in my experience, it's not all that different. If I were to give some recommendations to someone who is up in Canada, file locally. The beauty is that a lot of these patent offices are connected. In terms of if you're going to go after multiple countries, you just need to file in one of those countries. That's a part of the Patent Cooperation Treaty. Most every country that you've ever heard of is a part of that treaty. And so the cool thing is you can apply to any one of those countries, and they'll all reference back and point to that one examiner that you started with. The most important thing to do, of course, is to actually file a patent application, to do it right, and to use counsel to make sure that it's properly described in enough breadth and description and detail to properly cover those claims. What I will say for an app, if that's going to be too expensive for you, certainly you can go ahead and file on your own. Again, that's going to come with a big caution, making sure that you're not going to cut yourself short. So I'd always look to, if you need to take a loan out, right, pool money together with another business partner, go investor to try to hire counsel to get it filed correctly. Without filing, there's really very little protection. In the US, I will say there is a grace period, okay, a 1-year grace period that if you do go to market, let's say launch the app, you do have 1 year to then file the application, and you'll still be able to proceed forward and get the patent rights. So that 1 year can be useful if you're really stretched on money and you got to go confirm the market and you want to go test things out first. There is that grace period. And of course, that will come at the risk, of course, of some other inventor individually on their own filing the same or similar patent application, and you would be the junior in terms of being able to get the rights. So always preferable to file and use attorneys if possible. But again, before you file, I don't know if I've mentioned this yet today, but doing a patent search is critical. Making sure that what you're doing is truly unique, novel, and above anything else that's been published or patented before. So before you file, do that patent searching. Do some diligence on your own before even hiring a patent search or a patent attorney, patent law firm to do that searching for you. There's a big, long answer there. And hey, we've got a comment. Looks like Adam's on. Good to see you, Adam. Can't wait to see Mr. Ken Lemons. Me too. I'm excited to bring him on. Bear with me. I'm going to go through a couple more questions here that came in this week. These will be all patent related. No trademark questions today with Matt Colseth being out. Let's take a look at this one here. All right. So why does the U.S. allow companies to purchase patents solely for the purpose of litigation, even if there's no product associated with it? So this is a question about some of those companies that acquire patent assets and simply litigate, right? They don't actually make any products. These are also called patent trolls sometimes, and they're negative connotation, those that are non-practicing entities. The beauty here is it's business, it's transactional. And so if you purchase a patent, that means that the inventor or the owner of that patent gets rewarded. They get financial compensation for bringing something new to the market, bringing something new to the technology, the field of art, and that's worth it, right? That's the whole system. Is the inventor gets rewarded financially, monetarily for bringing that new product to market. So it doesn't really matter who buys it. If their purpose is to go sue other people, go enforce the patent, that's the whole point of the system. And so you bet the U.S. is going to allow that capitalistic cycle to continue. All right, let's take this one. Okay, here we go. This will be our last one. We'll do this third one, and we'll get to our guest. The others were too long-winded. Okay, I have an idea for a dental product that does not exist. I need to know legally how to protect my idea and then find the means to manufacture and test the product. No idea where to start. Any help is appreciated. Okay, so a dental product. This is sort of one of those areas where it's medical in nature, medical device, or maybe it's a product related. Okay, it's going to provide some benefit health-wise. This is going to put up the initial, pointer to go have an FDA discussion. Whether it's going to be a simple class 1 or 510K, there are some certification routes that will need to be taken before you go market and sell the product if it's going to be solving some health-related, medical-related problem. Now, in terms of the patent side or the intellectual property, it's going to start right about patent research. So having done some of that yourself, if you're yourself a dental or in that industry, that's great. You'll probably already know a lot of the players in this product space. But have that done ahead of time, and then go hire a professional, go do that search, confirm, know that you're really going to have a nice broad scope of rights that you're going to go for. So taking a look before you leap, and then paying that big fee to hire the best attorneys you can to get that application drafted, write a solid specification, drawings, and then the claims. So in terms of the patenting, that's the process. Manufacturing and testing, that can be done once you're pending. Once you've got your patent application filed, you're going to then to be able to talk with third parties about the invention that was filed without really risk of them being able to file anything else because you've already beat them to it. Knowing that if you're going to get into detailed discussions with them or hire them to make something for you, I always recommend you have an NDA, a confidentiality agreement in place. Inevitably, as you manufacture, as you test the product, you'll iterate. Yeah, the product's going to go into version 2, version 3, and so on. And those inventions, right, those follow-on improvements need to be protected and owned by you. So that contract with the manufacturer is really important. And so for that reason, I usually recommend local business counsel drafting contracts. And you're going to get the most sort of, protections if you have a manufacturer that's local within the same state. Or out of state would be a little more risky, and then out of the country is the most risky in terms of your intellectual property rights. So awesome. All right, Adam, is music community idea instead of just building software? That's an amazing idea, I think, because Adam's talking about Ken. With that beautiful segue, thank you, Adam. Let's bring on our guest, Mr. Ken Lemons. Welcome to the program.
Hey, JD. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. I appreciate it. How are you today?
Hey, I'm all right. It's pretty nice up here in California, in Marin County, so just north of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, my brother's down there in that area. He said it's beautiful. It's actually nice up here in Washington State. That's where I'm at. We're in the 70s.
Hmm.
Incredible. Like last week, we're in the 40s. So pretty big jump in the right direction, which is good. Well, so you and I have we've conversed via email, LinkedIn, but this is our first time actually talking. So I'm excited to dig in to some of your background. If you don't mind kicking us off with, where you've been in your career and how'd you get started with musical DNA?
Yeah, it's a funny long story, but to be brief, I did the 5 university, 8 major, 13-year program, kicking off with engineering at Michigan, and then oil painting, theater, sound design, media, and ended up with a couple of music degrees, piano performance, bachelor's, and then a master's in music from Butler University. And nowhere along the journey did I think, hey, I want to, make money for the sake of making money and go into business. And so I think it's pretty comical that I now am running a software business and I'm trying to figure it all out, But basically, I had a broken hand many years ago while I was trying to recover from that for my first piano recital. I decided to try my very best to map music in order to help my personal understanding of it, and that led to my the first seed that eventually became this patented invention and our dynamic visualization process. So.
Wow, it's cool. So you said you broke your hand. Did you mean?
Yeah, I broke it just bike riding, and so I was waiting, recovering, and just trying to maximize my time, and I drew my first map and put 2 and 2 together, and now it's many years later and many patents. I think we've had 29 approved, believe it or not, national and international. Okay. And just, we only have 10 minutes today, but I would love to talk to you personally at some point. We have very unique patents apparently in the history of the Patent and Trademark Office, which is neat because when ours were approved, there was no formal printing process for colored patents yet. And our guy was like, don't worry. Well, even in applying, for those out there, patents, you apply in black and white. And for a colored application, you have to have a special petition.
Right.
But our guy's like, don't worry. Yours are the poster child of colored applications. And for people who are new in what I do, so this is a musical DNA, and we light up music with rainbow colored geometry. It's the first mathematically exact visualization of music and how music really works. And in 2D, it's music turns into a circle. So this is kind of the equivalent of hitting all of the white and black keys on the piano in an octave. And in 3D, it turns into a helix as you go around the circle. It looks like DNA, hence our name.
Got it.
It was invented for music teaching, revealing the shapes of music. But then, to our great surprise, we found ourselves in the world of audio and mapping at great levels of detail, and hence so many patents. So.
Very cool. Maybe walk us through the first patent or the first sort of invention that of this. What's and also a use case example of how you put it into.
Okay, so our core patent was actually very, very broad, and as JD was alluding to earlier, so at least when I got into all of this, we filed something called a provisional application, which is it stamps the date, and then you have 1 year to finish filing your full. It's called utility application, but you can at least get that date. And it turns out that our core application was so broad and had so many claims that we had to split it up into 3 core patents. And it had to do with lighting up musical sound and then, drawing these geometric relationships. Its first use case, and it was invented for music teaching. And so our core technology is visualizing music with rainbow colored geometry, letting you see the true mathematical nature of music for the first time. But in other words, it simplifies and visualizes the musical language. And when you see music in this way, music is revealed as shapes fitting together like pieces of a puzzle. And it turns out that there are 6 core lines, 2-note shapes called the intervals. So if music were Legos, there would be 6 basic musical Legos that exist, and each one has its own color and length and very identifiable musical sound. And then you start stacking those together, and it turns into the 4 triangles, the triads of music, and then the 9 7th chords, the trapezoids of music.
Wow.
So our core technology was the core visualizer itself. But our other big breakthrough, at least for music teaching, was our patented breakdown of this sequence of the mathematically most efficient way to communicate the language. So we've been working on it for a long time. I really hope that the world is about to have some interactions that people can start playing with these tools itself and start creating their own musical DNA sculptures for dynamic songs / sculptures, for lack of a better word, and begin to share them themselves.
So not only be able to express auditorially, but in terms of a 3-dimensional graphical representation of what the song looks like.
It's funny because I joke around that it's like that the scene in The Matrix. Are you sure you want, like you have to see it for yourself. It's really hard to describe in words what it is, because
I know this is going to be going to a podcast where we're trying to get okay.
Yeah, if we do it again, I'll have some stuff to light up for sure. But
let's do something really simple though. So I mean, what's like the piano, the middle C.
Mm-hmm.
So if I hit C,
what does it look,
help me understand why I would want to know, or why it might be interesting to know what it looks like.
So I visualize. I'm a piano player. I mean, I play a lot of guitar and stuff too, but I learned when I was 5 on the piano. So I mapped musical DNA with middle C at 12 o'clock on the circle. So if you hit one tone and it happened to be a C in 2 dimensions, it will light up at the very top. Okay. And it'll just be a point of white-ish light. We can have a little animation to reflect the timbre, etc. If I hit another note on the piano, so 2 notes, 2 notes are going to light up on that circle, and a particular colored line is going to light up and connect them. So the lines of 1 step away are red, and they sound very clashy, kind of like, and if I do a low register, it's the music from Jaws. Dun, dun, dun. Those are called half steps in music. If I go 2 steps away, they're called whole steps. It's the beginning of Happy Birthday. Happy Birthday, dun, 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 dun. When you hear them together, it clashes, but not so bad. And I can walk you through the others, and we have a book and stuff. But basically, you start building the basic shapes, and it's so use cases. We're building tools for to assist in education. The problem is that everyone loves music, but learning music is very, very difficult because for 300 years, everyone's still been using rote memorization. You learn the piece of music and you recite the music, and that is incredibly difficult, especially if it's hundreds and thousands of individual notes. Our technology reveals the underlying structures of music, and with our software, and then with tools like modern analytics, we can track your recognition and successful building of these shapes, and we can really gamify the muscle memory acquisition process to get you through getting these shapes and patterns into your fingers. And then at the very end, I do teach you how to read and write music, but only at the end. And then we teach you how to write these shapes in standard musical notation, and suddenly you can see underneath the forest, and you identify the forest from the individual trees, and you start to see the big blocks of shapes that the composers are thinking about. And it really does completely unlock you. So first use case, education.
Okay.
But man, there's a huge market for child development. Our little triangles, they make, when you get up to the 3-note shapes, there are 4 basic triangles, and they link to basic human emotions. So the happy sounding triangle, you can build and learn how to play on your instrument. And there's the sad triangle, the scary triangle, and the dreamy triangle, like a cartoon character getting hit on the head and seeing stars. And so we have a great child development potential market for the next evolution of Baby Mozart-ish.
Yeah.
We have gaming that we're hoping to get into, but our version of Guitar Hero is Musical DNA Hero, and it is real.
Cool.
And then we have publishing. We're gonna our technology runs on MIDI, but we're filing, like he had alluded to earlier. We have our own continuing, ongoing patent trees that we are continuing to protect our future inventions.
Okay.
But we have a proprietary file type to share our stuff. We have live performance, and it's big. And I hope, please we've been working for a long time, and I hope the world gets to see it really soon. So
that's fantastic. Well, this will hopefully help get it out a little bit. Anything I can
yeah, thanks, brother.
Sounds like it'll be helpful. So let's talk about the patents itself, the process. I assume you've got counsel to help you get some of these patents filed, or are you doing this on your own?
No, over the years, we've had a number of different highly powered firms and individual reps from each firm help us. When it comes down, I've actually navigated the process, I think, enough. When it comes to some of the simpler things, some of the trademarks, I've been able to navigate on my own. But when it finally comes down to the actual patent process, I mean, it's hard to raise that much money, but you have to have an expert do it. And there are just little things like, when you file the very first one, I wouldn't have known this, but our guy you're expecting it to get denied on the first round.
Yep.
And it's a secret trick. If it doesn't get denied at that first level,
you didn't ask for enough.
You didn't ask for enough.
Right.
Then you might have left something out there. And it's important to trust the patent attorneys, because they know the system, and they know how this system works. I do wish I had spent a little less money in the beginning on it. It's so important as an entrepreneur to have patents that line up with your actual monetizable products.
Yes. Right.
So there's that part of the story as well. But all in all, it's worth it. They'll work with you, and you have to write out how it's original and an unobvious outgrowth of the old system. But we have to help and trust your attorneys.
Yeah, and so they're still working for you, right? They're good for 20 years from the date of filing. And so to that end, to a question, have you seen or smelled any potential infringers out there? Anyone trying to rip off?
Interestingly, no. God bless it. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
And maybe it's just that my idea was that unique. We do have, it's interesting, and I believe I can share this no problem, but most patents last for 20 years.
Yep.
If you don't have enough money to get your product to market, eventually it's geared towards letting your invention go to market so that civilization can have access to your invention.
Yes.
Our civilization.
Yeah.
Trademarks, however, last like Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. It'll last, I hope, 70 years past my death, our trademarks. And I just want to share this because you'll find it interesting as a patent attorney yourself, but Nike's swoosh, for example, has nothing to do with their manufacturing process of how they build shoes. With Musical DNA and our Rainbow Circle and our trademark, we're very luckily, our marks reflect our manufacturing process for how we build software. And those marks snap in and link to all of our previous claims, even as our older patents expire and we start filing our new patent trees. So we're a little unique, I think, in having this very strange but kind of cool advantage with our intellectual property.
Yeah, well, certainly. Yeah, just a quick note on that. So on trademarks and like design logos, hold that book up for a bit. You had that.
Yeah, well, this is just a sticker on my back.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on right there. There's at least two major pieces of IP. There's the design. There's actually that design, that work of art. That is that colored.
That's our. I call that the master key. That's master key. And the names, because I also have my book that breaks down the language of music, which I refer to as the master key. But really, that's in 2 dimensions. That is our master symbol of all music in the world fitting in there. This happens to be, like you said, a visual mark.
Right. Yeah, and you can protect
uses
that.
the images, but then you can also have your the words themselves can become your word mark, and it's important to overlap those. And if you're starting your company, yeah, thanks.
Trademarks are wonderful, and they last, they persist as long as the company is.
Mm-hmm.
They go on as long as you're still in business. It's the copyrights is what you were talking about, is 70 years after your death. And so any design would continue, if you register at the Copyright Office, those would last your lifetime plus 70 years, which is great. Okay, so let's talk about going to market and so what you're actually selling. Are you selling anything now?
At this exact moment, no, but keep your eyes peeled. I hope, I don't want to say it and jinx it, but I hope in just 2 or 3 weeks from now, we could have our very first live musical DNA visualizer via apps that you'd be able to touch a digital piano and interact with music in 2D, in 3D, turn on note names. We have a chord and root identifier that goes through our patented breakdown of the language. And then we'd have copyright accessible music, very limited in the beginning, but classical music that you can play back and watch multiple channels on in 2D and in 3D. And this visualizer, eventually I want to have a free level of access to. It's funny because as an entrepreneur as well, and for all of the other entrepreneurs out there, oh my God, you just have to keep pivoting. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked by seeing a cool comment.
Yeah.
But anyway, you have to get me back. Where was I at, brother? I'm sorry.
Talking about your in 2 weeks you're rolling out this visualizer.
Yeah. So I think it's important. I thought always have to pivot, and here I was, and I thought I was in the world of software product building. And it turns out that I might be in the world of software community building. And it is a different thing. And so I have multiple, they call them minimum viable products, but I greatly want at least a core free interaction that's accessible to the world, that people can begin to see what this is. And then I have my new book that I'm very proud of that explains the language that I was refraining from releasing until we had a visualizer, so people would understand what it was for. And then we'll go from there. But I'm hoping to build something called the Musical DNA Universe that gives access to a lot of our tools and our creation and sharing and play. And that's what we're out here trying to build in Marin County, California.
Love it.
Anybody, please get a hold of me. We need some help. I need some people,
Okay. Well, I'm going to promote on that. To that end, can I put your email address out?
Yeah, please do.
All right. So I'll put that just before I forget. So feel free to contact Ken with any questions or contributions at ken@musicaldna.com. Okay. Now to the visualizer. Is any chance we could get a sneak peek today? Do you have a computer you can share?
I like the quick access is using my iPad Pro that we're using now for us to talk.
Your website doesn't have anything.
If you take me off the screen for a minute, and I'll see if one of my other iPads is charged, and I could show you a little sneak peek for sure.
Oh my gosh, let's do it. Okay, I'll take you off. I'll bring you on in just a few minutes. Cool. Well, that's fun. Maybe get entertained here. Get a sneak peek on Ken Lemon's visualizer. This is going to be a part of his app. He hopes to release in just a couple of weeks. So hang in there. I'll do a couple of Q&As while we're waiting for him. I do want to show off his website. You can visit musicaldna.com. Take a look at that. He's got his public website up for what's currently available, but certainly something fun. If you have any questions or comments to make for him, please fire away. Thank you, Lucero, Sparky, Marcos, Jonathan Mitchell. As always, good to see you. Adam Braun, love it. How are you guys? Maybe you could drop in the comments how you guys know Ken, what your background is. Would be fun to see that too. There's Adam. Yeah, so far so good. Here we'll do one question here. Here's a good one. All right, this one comes out of our Quora. What are the key differences between utility and design patent drawings? So while I don't actually do the drafting ourselves, we use a couple different vendors for doing the drafting of the drawings. The major difference is on design patents, the drawings is that's what controls the rights of the patent. So design patents, you'll be surprised if you ever look them up. There's only one claim, one English word claim, and that is the ornamental drawing as shown. So the black letter outline with the clarity you have in the design is what will be what you own. Now, that's not true with utility design. Utility patents, the drawings only support the written words. So utility patents, you own words. Design patents, you own the drawings. So they become much more important, of course, on the design patent side. Drawings are important on utility, but like I said, they're not actually going to come away and own it. What can be beneficial with utility patent drawings is when you first file a utility patent, maybe it's the first application, the parent filing. If you are detailed enough in your drawings and you go through examination, you can then afterward file a divisional or a continuation application that's a design patent based on the drawings that you filed with your utility patent. So if you're really wise, work with a good counsel, and you think there's some design aspects that are novel and non-obvious, you can get ready, prepare to do a design patent application filing after you do the utility filing. So that's the answer to that question. Let's see, Adam. So you've been friends since high school. You're going to be highly involved in his rhythm development section of the company. Been a drummer for 46 years. Love it. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate you sharing that. Looks like Lucero is my best friend of 25 years. Oh, man, those years are tight. Best friend at the wedding. Uncle to my son. One heck of a musician. This is music at its core. Yeah, this sounds like a really, really big deal. You guys are obviously super close. That's great. Thanks for supporting. Ken, thanks for supporting this the Bold Inventor Show. Looks like Ken's still trying to pull up what he can on his end. I'm going to do one more question. This one's good. I like it high level. Might get me on my soapbox. What's the biggest problem with the U.S. patent system? Well, I would say it's, I think it's kind of something that Ken alluded to a bit, and it's having to do with the cost. I think it is a lot of red tape. There's a lot of delay. Maybe that's it. That it just takes so darned long to get a patent granted. And there's a lot more political. I could get into that with respect to what's going on right now, right, with our country and our leader, where there's, he says it cleaning house, right, where they're either letting go or allowing voluntary layoffs for federal employees, including those examiners at the USPTO. So while we're already waiting a year to 2 years to get back to inventors now, it may be even longer because we now have fewer patent examiners at the USPTO. So that is going to be the number one problem. It takes too long to get those inventions examined to see if they're going to allow them to become patents. And so because it can take a year or two, and maybe hopefully not 3 years, that's a ton of time. And certainly for fast-moving technologies, right? Think AI, right? Blockchain, certain signal processing, electronics, telecommunications. These are industries that are really fast-moving. And in 3 years, the whole market can shift. And so what's the point? What's the point of going after and spending what could be tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars acquiring patent rights when in 2 or 3 years, that market opportunity is gone? So that's a major issue right now for the U.S. patent system, I would say. Let's check back in with Ken. Ken, how you doing? Thumbs up? You got something?
Garage. Oh goodness, yes, I think I do.
I'm going to put this on the larger screen, so hopefully people can see you here. Hold on. Let's get to it. Hold on. I gotta get your screen bigger here.
Okay. So here's this is kind of a gentle free play visualizer. Let me turn on a piano here that I can touch. That'll make it a little bit easier to see.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm going around the circle. Let me see, 3D. Well, let me turn on my I can turn on my chord and my note names. So you're seeing kind of the plumbing, not not the finished, sexy, juicy graphics and stuff, but at least you can see that the pieces are there.
So you're touching all the keys. Right? So like this one key at a time will just show one chord. Is that right? One actual line.
One key will show one point on the circle.
Oh, just a dot, just a point.
Yes. Okay. Two notes together will show a colored line. So these are the the 6-beta. Sorry, this is funny.
Oh yeah, no, you're doing great.
Noodle this in real time, but music is shapes. In 2D, it's a circle. In 3D, music is a helix.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What makes it go vertical? What brings it?
Every time I go up or down one octave in musical sound, you are going around the circle. Goodness. So in 3D, music is not a circle. It is a helix that looks a lot like a spiraling strand of DNA.
Right. So point to point is not always, in fact, very, very rarely in 2 dimensions. The point to point is a 3-dimensional connection.
Yep. So octaves are they're white lines that bridge the gap.
Oh, there you go. Wow, look at that.
And so I'm so excited because you're only seeing note ons and note offs very quickly, but we have it's turned on so we can begin to show different animations and different channels for different instrument sounds. And it's so fun when you can start to see like a Cantina band from Star Wars, and all the different tracks lighting up everywhere. And so it's my life's quest getting all of this done. And I really hope that I will have something to share with the world soon. But anyway, so we're hoping to have this free visualizer out, in just a few weeks. It'd be fun to circle back with you if I can pull it off.
Absolutely. So where do we go find it? It's Apple Store or the Google Play?
It'll be Apple and Android smart devices to start. And we're working on a couple of our core engines. It's kind of exciting because where I hope it will go is even to one of the core engines for the video game people out there. We're building an Unreal version of this and something called Unity. So Unity gives us access to the browser. Unreal gives us access to the gaming consoles and to AR and VR. And I can't wait till we can turn on our universe with those kind of super high-end ray tracing graphics and stuff. But anyway, so dude, thank you so much.
Ken. That was such a cool thing. I didn't think you were going to be able to play. There it is.
Oh my God, I was running around. I didn't think but we did it. So
I appreciate you. You've got your fan club here, part of your fan club here. You got Lucero, Adam. We'll turn you guys on. Jonathan says EDM concerts will love it.
Yeah. I can't wait. We're turning it on for Ableton. So and that's the EDM big engine, and I can't wait. Where I want to live with this, I mean, and the teaching is important, but I want to be out on stage lighting this up, and really.
So you want to perform as well. You want to perform this stuff. Love it.
Yeah. So
Adam says Oculus, right? The VR, so many applications. I'm excited.
But that's why we knew we needed. I'm grateful too, man. It's very nice of what you're doing to help people in the world out there. We all need encouragement, but we knew we needed the patents. We didn't quite know how. Oh, this was interesting.
Okay.
When I invented this, there was no iPhone yet. It was on the sights of coming out. So how could you have possibly written a business plan?
Yeah, no, it's way out. Yeah. You've been at this for a while.
Yeah.
Burning desire to bring this about. It is what it takes. Well, certainly fun to have you on. We're going to have you back. I'd love to see the
sounds great, man.
Launch. Again, reach out to Ken with the email. Check out Musical DNA. Is that the name of the app, I assume, Musical DNA?
So Musical DNA is the name of the technology, and I'm building a collection of companies that I call Musical DNA Enterprises. The apps, the one that will be out will be the core Musical DNA Visualizer app.
Okay, got it. Musical DNA Visualizer. Cool. I'm going to take a look at it. I'm excited. So there will be a free version Any
I
papers?
think I'm leaning towards that. So yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I appreciate that teaser. Again, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us.
Hey, thank you, JD, very, very much. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Right, well, for me and Bold Patents here, wishing you guys a great week. We'll be here back next Wednesday at 1:30 Pacific. Have an awesome day, everybody. Go big, go bold.
Yep. All right, buddy. Thanks, man.
Bye-bye.
Go big, go bold at boldip.com.